Since the time of dawn, a question has been plaguing brand new Tenno. Where to get Endo and where to get credits. Now today, my friends, we're gonna tackle how to get credits in 2021 if you're a newer Tenno. If you're a veteran of the game, then you don't need me to tell you gotta go Index, Profit Taker, or there's a number of other activities you can do to get your credits. But if you're a newer Tenno, you really need those credits to max out your mods, and you're gonna need some Endo as well. Now, in the past, there were several options to getting your credits. You might have heard Tenno tell you to go do the Index, do Profit Taker, do Dark Sectors, do the Heracon, Pluto. But with the Railjack 2.0, I want to say, there is a brand new, better way to get credits, and that's doing entry-level Railjack missions. And that might sound a little bit intimidating, and I will demonstrate to you it really is not. The best way for a new Tenno, you can get like 45,000 credits in 3 to 5 minutes easily without any real difficulty at all. Now, there are some prerequisites to this one. You need to finish the second Dream Quest, and right after that you gotta go for the Rising Tide. During the Rising Tide, you will build your Railjack, something like this. Now, mine has a skin on it. Don't let it seem too intimidating. Trust me, the base Railjack doesn't look as good, but that's not important. The functionality is gonna be basically the same. So just so you see, we're not using any fancy mods or any fancy equipment. We're gonna be using default Railjack equipment. Sigma shield, Sigma engines, Sigma plating, and a Sigma reactor. Rank 1 on all of them. And when it comes to the guns, a standard APOC and a standard Pulsar with the Tycho Seekers. Again, we're not going to use any rank 3 anything. As for the Tenno, well, you do have an option here. You can either play solo, and it's totally doable, or you can play with your friends, or if you have enough intrinsics, which I doubt by this point, you can get yourself a nice crew to help you along the mission. Allow me to demonstrate. We'll board the Jack of the Rail, and first I'm gonna go solo just so you can see exactly how long does it actually take and how difficult the mission actually is. There's no need to pump up the value of the mission. There is no need to go for something very difficult. What I would recommend you guys doing is going for the very entry level one, which will grant you 35 to 45,000 credits. On Earth Proxima, the mission is called Solver Strait Simple Skirmish Railjack Mission, and you can do all the objectives yourself in just a couple of minutes. Even if you're super new to the game, and even let's say that you don't have a full grasp on the movement system of Warframe yet, all the bullet jumping, all the dodging, all the rolling, or the power up that you can do with your operator, which I will not spoil. I'm gonna try to mimic a more of a new player approach to this mission. I'm not gonna hurry, I'm not gonna rush. Basically, I'm gonna take you through the entire freaking thing. Board your Jack of the Rail and go straight for the enemy and just shoot them. These are super low level enemies. All you gotta do is get one good shot in and they fall to the ground. You can also use your rockets by using your secondary fire like so. Very, very simple. If you take a look at the objectives of the mission, in the upper left corner of the screen you got 30 ships to kill and 2 cruise ships. Now the cruise ships can be a little bit more challenging, and I'll show you the way you can get them done. Let's assume that you don't have a whole lot of intrinsics. Let's assume that your gunnery isn't really super high and you can't use the launcher or anything like that. So instead, we're just gonna unboard the Railjack and manually board the enemy ship by flying close to it. And let's see what kind of time we can get. It shouldn't really take all that long. Now, what I would recommend you do is fly slowly but surely towards the objective of the mission, if you have something like kill the enemy commander or anything like that, while you kill the ships, because ships you'll always have all around you. And look in front, there's another cruise ship, and basically what we're gonna be doing is the exact same process as before. Forget about your ship, leave it alone. It's not gonna die that fast. Again, basic mods and everything, basic equipment on it. Where did it go? Where did it go? It was here somewhere. Hey gang, I lost my ship. Oh! I know what it was all the time. Once again, you go up from behind and you go inside. Nice and easy, no problem whatsoever. You run straight for the reactor. You can ignore the enemies. And you just shoot the reactor with whatever weapon you have. I have a Heck on, just so I can make it a bit more new player friendly. You don't know how to build a Heck? This is a fantastic gun. Like the cards right now for a full and detailed guide on it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take you through all the process, all the steps of modding primary and secondary weapons in Warframe. It's a bit of a long watch, but it should be worth your time. Alright, the cruise ships are done, which means I just need to kill a few more fighters. I'm not even sprinting, I'm taking it by the numbers. You don't need to rush, just enjoy your time, because this will be the most efficient way to get the credits while you're newer in Warframe. And if you're higher in Mastery rank and you got better equipment and you know what you're doing, you can go for the Index, 100%. You can go for Profit Taker, quick runs for Profit Taker, also good. Or what you can also do is go for higher level Railjack missions, which will grant you between 200,000 and 400,000 credits. I'm talking without any boosters whatsoever. For example, this mission should give me about 45,000 credits without the booster. If I have a booster, then I'm gonna go to 70,000. 29, I just need to kill one more, nice and quick. And we're done. Lavan Reactor Mark 1. At this point, you can just simply head on back to the dry dock, or you can just start the mission again by clicking it. It really is up to you. If you have enough credits already, you just can go back to the dry dock. If not, you can repeat the mission. If you go higher level in missions, of course, you're gonna be getting yourself more and more credits. Oh, look at that! I got something new. Crimson Fuguji, turret damage. Oh, nice. I really didn't have that one. Mission complete. Now, it's not gonna say the completion time here. It says how much time I've been spending in the dojo, but I got 34,426 credits without the booster. So I would go to roughly 70,000 without one. If I want to see the mission complete time, I gotta leave the dojo. This should be around 4 to 5 minutes, absolute maximum. Mission complete. 4 minutes 50 seconds for 34,000, 35,000 credits. And again, I wasn't hurrying whatsoever. With a little bit of practice, you can get it to 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes easily. Right now, if you're a newer Tenno in Warframe, this is the way to farm credits. But let's say you're not a newer Tenno in Warframe. Let's hop on over to Index, shall we? If you want to do some Index, you can go public, of course. It's Index Solo. I honestly don't know how well you can pull off something like Index Solo, because in Index Solo, you will get bots helping you and they do more harm than good. The Index is located on the planet Neptune, and here you can select the Index and you can choose from free. You can go low risk, medium risk, and high risk in this. Needless to say, you gotta go high risk for the biggest profits you can get. Allow me to show you how this one works. You invest 50,000 straight off the bat, and then the return will be 250. So therefore, your profit, if you have 50,000 to invest, that is, of course, will be 200. If you choose to stay in and do multiple ways of Index, you're gonna get another 250, another 250, and so on and so forth. Again, this is without any credit booster whatsoever. You got a credit booster, you double everything up. When you're going for Index, what you gotta think about is the composition of your team. Here's what we do normally. You have one carrier, one tank. You can use Rhino, you can use Revenant, you can use a whole lot of things to tank, but I usually recommend Rhino and Revenant. These are more my favorite picks. And it's also good to have a couple of killers, tanks and killers. Here's still my favorite killer. May not be the most efficient necessarily, this will depend on the map, which is the most efficient killer, but I still recommend you go with Mesa. If you get the balcony one, which I hope I'll get to show you now, you can just simply stay with Mesa on top, right, and kill everything that moves using her regulators. If you're gonna go with Mesa as a killer into Index, make sure you build her weapons for radiation, okay guys, for radiation, not for corrosive like I have them built here. Radwood. By the way, build them with the 90 mods, right? Build them with the 90 mods, not the 60-60. There you go. That should be good enough for Index. Another good idea would actually be to go for some fire rate on the regulators. A lot of Tenno prefer to put in some heavy-duty fire rate on these. If you want some heavy-duty fire rate, you can go for something like Anemic Agility or Gunslinger instead of Lethal Torrent, instead of Magnum Force. So I still prefer this build because it makes my crosshairs shrink slower, the whole regulator's ability. However, if you have or use on your build the augment that allows Mesa to move around, you might be better off using Gunslinger or Anemic Agility. I don't like that augment simply because it takes away from all the fantastic animations that her 4 ability does have. So bear that one in mind. In Index, you can get several different maps. This is not exactly one of the most ideal maps, but what you do, you have your killers, your Mesas, for example. Kill the enemies and you have your tanks, like this one, grab the points. Sober right now is tanking the black and white Rhino, and he has these points around them. Each and every single enemy will grant you 1 point unless they already picked up some points. Keep in mind that the enemy team can do the exact same thing you can. so make sure they don't turn in your points. With a Mesa, what I usually do is hang around here, and when I see an enemy, I just kill him, like that. And then the tank, I can even mark the point with a G. Hey, waypoint number 1, and tell the tank there is a point to pick up. Nice and easy. Energy might be an issue, so it's good to have Arcane Energize. Of course, if you have not gone into Eidolon hunting just yet, Arcane Energize will be outside your reach. It's important to understand where the energy orbs are, especially if you're playing a Mesa. If you're playing a Rhino, basically all you gotta worry about is making sure you can cast your Iron Skin, which will keep you alive. And the rest, just grab your points and turn them in. Your tank can carry a various number of points. There is no cap on how many points you can carry per se, but at 5 points carried when you turn them into the enemy base, you're gonna get 2 bonus points. If you turn in 10 points, you're gonna get 4 bonus points. If you get 15 points, you're gonna get 8 bonus points. And at 20 points turn in, you're gonna be getting 10 bonus points. Now, my friends, I wouldn't try to do the Iron Man impersonation. I wouldn't try to carry a whole lot of points because basically you're risking losing that whole bunch of points, an enemy picking them up and turning into your base. So it's not really worth the risk. Especially if you're more newer to Warframe, pick up 10, 15 maximum and just turn them in. Keep in mind that energy will be drained while you carry points. The more points you carry, the more energy will be drained. In order to win a round, what you gotta do is turn in 100 points, and we're about to do just that with our Rhino tank. Keep in mind that to unlock Index, you gotta finish the Glass Gambit quest, and upon turning in points, the timer will keep getting added on. So for example, now we got 45 seconds left, but if we were to turn in 1 point or 2 points, we would get some additional time. Sober, finish the round. Yay, we won! Now at this point, you have an option. You can either stay in and do another round for another 250,000 creds without a booster, or you can extract. Entirely up to you. Keep in mind that if you have some friends in Warframe, this is the best way for them to boost you, to get you some nice credits. While doing Railjack missions, or better said, entry-level Railjack missions may be fantastic for newer players, and the Index is still the all-round fantastic choice for most Tenno, there's still one more fantastic option which I want to share with you guys. But this one is a bit more higher in MR, and it implies some spoilers which I don't really want to get into, and it also may require more cookie-cutter setups. We're talking about Profit Taker, so we're gonna head on over to Orvalis. I was about to say Fortuna. Wait, Fortuna would have been correct, right?
Both would have been,
yes.
I think.
Once you're here, you can use the fast travel system like so and hit up Little Duck. And from here, you're gonna be able to start the quest like so. Profit Taker. As soon as you exit Fortuna, I would advise you go with your Archwing and just wait for the point to appear, but it's usually this way. As soon as you exit, head a little bit to the left. What did I tell you? Almost there. And then you're gonna be engaging on the Profit Taker. The fight itself isn't something I would call too difficult, and if you choose a safe frame, my give up frame is Inaros, because basically he's never gonna die with a 0 Forma build. You'll see that the Profit Taker has a symbol over her head, the symbol for radiation. Right now it has a different symbol. You gotta match the damage type to what the Profit Taker asks for. That's how you get the shields down. For example, right now it asks for electricity damage. I has no electricity damage, but thankfully my friends do. There you go, heat. And for heat, I got a little bit of the Ignis Wraith. You gotta hit it with the appropriate element. Now we're switching to Toxin. Is that Toxin or is it gas? Toxin. And finally, when you're in this phase, you gotta call down your Arc Gun ideally and shoot the legs. It's a pretty simple process, and I would recommend one-shotting like so with the Velocitus, which is pretty simple and straightforward. You don't know how to build your Velocitus? Ha I got you covered. Look at the cards right now. You can one-shot Eidolons too if you care about that. After you manage to shoot all of the feet and the final damage on the Profit Taker's head, it will launch these beacons of sorts all over the place. Ideally, you want to split up into different teams and just destroy the beacons, or whatever they're called. What are those called? They're not beacons.
Pylons.
Pylons! Pylons, beacons, potato, patata, essentially. After that, you're gonna have to destroy the legs one more time. Oh, the shield popped up exactly when I fired. Like so. In the first phase, make sure not to unequip your arc gun so you don't run into the cooldown. Just keep it on while you destroy the first set of pylons. And by pylons, I mean beacons. Was it pylons or was it beacons?
Pylons.
Beacons. And now we're back to the shield thing. Hit it with impact, boys. Hit it with impact. Anybody got impact? Wait, I got impact. Boom. Done and done. Should we stay for the big boom boom? You guys want to stay for the big boom boom? Don't forget to pick up your loot from underneath the Prophet Taker. You might get a cool Artiqua. You guys care about Artiqua? You know, the little action figure things. They're actually quite nice. Subjective.
Or if you're very, very lucky, the Bloodshed Seagull.
Or that. Look at all the loots. Look at all the loots. Fantastic loots, my friends. Now at this point, you're essentially done. So hop on to your Archwing and GTFO. Or you can stay for the big explosion. I would recommend it. And we got 125,000 credits, no booster whatsoever, in 7 minutes. And you know what? This was slow. This was super slow for objective reasons, my friends. Very objective reasons, if you know what I mean. Now, that said, this is definitely a fantastic way of getting some credits. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you want to max out the amount of credits you can get from Prophet Taker, there are a couple of tricks you can employ. Of course, you can use something like a booster to get double, but you can also use Chroma to double that up. And of course, if you get lucky from a Kavat and the affinity buff pops, boom, double on that one as well. And from the Fisher event too. So if you really want to max everything out, there are plenty of ways to get not 125,000, but you can get like up to 2 million credits from a single Prophet Taker run. In Warframe, Index used to be king. It was the way to get credits. It's not so nowadays. There are plenty of ways you can get yourself some credits, and then by doing so you can get a whole lot of other stuff as well. Keep in mind that you always have the option to sell your duplicates, and I'm talking about your duplicate mods and your duplicate components as well. For example, Warframe pieces. I wouldn't do that, however. At least not with mods. I would take the mods and dissolve them to make Endo, because as you can see, there are plenty of ways to get some credits. As always, my name has been Lazar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And if you got any sorts of feedback for me, by all means, drop it in the comment section down below. And if you love the content and it's useful to you, hey, consider supporting us via Patreon. Until next time, my friends. Bye-bye.